Hey everyone, welcome into episode 4 of Broville FunFair. If you recall, in the last episode, we spent the bulk of our time working on this side of the main street, mainly the theater building, these two here, this building, and then you can kind of see it from this angle, but that building I pulled in from Jubilee Gardens. So that was pretty much the bulk of that episode. This episode, we're going to start spending more time on the fair over here. Let's hop out of tagged cam there. So going to start trying to put this together more so than it already is. I've been really wanting to keep this fairground as like a dirt lot that hasn't been developed, or whatever was there historically has been torn down and now it's just an empty dirt lot. But it's going to be really hard to. So one thing we can do if we have the natural paths like this, Tizan on the Bro Nation Discord showed me this trick. But you can hide these nubs by, like, you put a path down like there and then take the largest path. Well, it's going to try to, hold on. It's too close together, so hold on. Just so you get an idea of what I'm talking about here. So yeah, so you can like put a path on the edge but not actually complete it. And you can use that to try to like hide some of those little nubs on the natural path. So that was probably going to be something I could accomplish just for the main paths. The problem though is for the rides, when you get into the queues, there's no natural path option. So you start putting queues down and unfortunately you're going to be stuck with something you have to try to cover up, which I could probably do with like some of the planter things that they have now, or even using that coconut piece. But I think the easier route and the cleaner route is going to be to just use like for the queues, use this, and then for the regular path, use that, and then paint the terrain with that city tarmac. So I wanted to have it feel more like it was in the middle of a field, but I think this is going to be the cleanest option here. So anyway, we're going to spend some time here. I want to finish custom supporting the invert coaster, and then hopefully working on a station for this, a station for Kinderly's coaster, and then some of the I want to reskin some of my midway games, and then hopefully work on some food carts as well. Okay, so finally decided to just bite the bullet and finish the custom supports on this thing, which it kind of looks like a jumbled mess, but also every reference photo I found, it kind of looks like a jumbled mess. So I was actually able to find some better photos than when I was working with before, but they just kind of confirmed what I was going for to begin with, which was a grid pattern here, and the track pieces coming across the coaster. Just try to attach them to as many pieces of track as you can, and then utilizing some of these TMTK beams, making smaller more lightweight pieces that actually do span like the full length like this, where they're kind of binding all of the supports together, so that forces pulling the track that way are being counteracted by forces pulling the track this way, and it just seemed like a lot of that type of engineering was taking place along the coaster. So yeah, I'm overall really happy with how it turned out. I think it probably could be better, but considering, I'm not a coaster expert by any means, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. This area in particular was especially difficult, to just make sure that the peeps' feet weren't clipping. In some of the areas it gets pretty close, and I'm not sure if it would actually be you know, an allowable clearance amount, but you know, I think it's hashtag good enough. So, and some of the photos, like support pieces like this, look really strange, like they wouldn't actually work or do anything. But and even like this one and this one, but I swear that is what they look like in the reference photos. So I have no idea how they actually made this thing functional and that it can be taken apart and you know, be a traveling coaster. But it's pretty impressive feat of engineering. I know that it doesn't, I think it's got a permanent location now, someone was saying in the comments on the last episode, but you know, how they ever moved this thing around is pretty amazing. So yeah, finished all of that. That took a lot of time, honestly, and then started doing some work on just a simple station cover. I want it to appear like it's something that, you know, could be folded up and put on a track, you know, a truck trailer or like a flatbed trailer like this. And then we'll probably extend out the station, which is a funny thing to say in plain code because the station's already massive. But I want I think the second train pauses right there. I think there's a block break right there. So I wanted it to go right up until that point, and then I think I'll probably carry the queue out further this way too. But before I do any of that, I'm going to have to figure out what the final location is going to be of this. I want to try to squeeze everything kind of in this area here. I don't want the fair to be too large relative to the town. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on the station. I'll probably do the station for this and the station for Kinderly's coaster, and then figure out where I want to put them. Okay, so finished up the station for the Trident coaster here, and really pleased with how it turned out, especially the light work up here. You know, I wanted it to give it that carnival funfair feel, and I think the flashing lights really help sell that. I wanted to keep these ones stationary underneath, just so, you know, if you're actually up here in the station, it wouldn't be bombarded by flashing lights constantly, you know, going off and on. The base I wanted to look, I couldn't really think of a way to make this look like a fabric or like a tarp, which is usually what it would be. You know, there'd be like a support structure underneath, and then this would just be a simple cover, like cloth type cover that would hang down from the support structure. So I hope that kind of sells that idea. Obviously it's you know, it's physical pieces, but that's the look I was going for anyway. And then the tricky part of this is going to be getting a 2 meter wide exit path. So I'm going to have to use that 2 meter method for the exit path here to so that it doesn't, you know, clip through the station. Obviously the queue path itself is totally fine. I'll be able to hook it up right here, and you know, there shouldn't be any problems at all with that. But I do think this is going to be the final location of this coaster. As you can see, I have deleted some of the paths and roads that were there before. I realized I probably needed a little bit more space. And I've kind of started laying out rides. Again, none of these are probably final. I'm just trying to get a good idea of, you know, of where they might fit into the grand scheme of things. So yeah, now I think I will move on to either Kinderly's station or repurposing some of these here. So I started working on the cover for Kinderly's coaster, and I wanted it to have more of a, you know, a classic feel to it, like you see in older parks on some of those stations. It actually is fairly similar to the station cover of Mr. Twister in Jubilee Gardens. I really like these clamshells. I think I might end up making them all the same color though. I'm not sure about how this looks right now. And then I realized after I unpaused the game that I put blinking lights under here. So I think it kind of looks cool, but also if you were standing in here, I feel like that would get really obnoxious. So I may end up switching those over to just solid color. But I do like how many lights there are under here. I think it definitely, again, goes along with the fair vibe and all that. So I think this is going to be the final placement point for this coaster. I'll probably put some like games and food stalls along this here, and then try to squeeze in rides where I can. You know, most of these have gigantic hit boxes. I think this one's not too bad. I don't know if it'll even, it could be better. This one's really big. The worst offender though is let's see, I don't even think I'm using it. Yeah, it's the other version of this ride. It's got a massive base to it. So some of them are pretty good though. Some of these newer ones, like this isn't too bad. So I think I'll be able to squeeze this in maybe in like a corner or something like that. But that's puzzling all that together is going to be probably one of the more difficult parts of this project. Just because I don't want it to. Usually if you look at like photos of these fairs, it's extremely compact. You know, they have rides that are right on top of each other. So not getting it to be, you know, too spread out is going to be one of the bigger challenges. But anyway, still have to do the base of this station. But overall, I like the direction that it's heading so far. Decided to take a little break from that coaster station and start working on some food stalls. And first I need to give a massive thank you and shout out to JLAC on the Bro Nation Discord. He actually made these two food stalls, which are incredibly realistic. I mean, he even made these little corn dogs. And all I did was change the branding on them. So Frequent Fryers is a stall that Masked Bandit made for Jaunty's Park, Pinewood Hills, and so I stole that and put it on here. And then Pucker Up Lemonade is a fake brand that is in No Name Landia and Jubilee Gardens. So other than that though, this is 100% him, and they are incredible. They look so realistic. He even made little interiors to them. Like this has got a little fry thing, and he's even got a steam special effect underneath. You know, he's got stand here for people to take orders, and then the lemonade one is different. It's got a fridge and, you know, a big pile of lemonade or lemons there to make lemonade. So yeah, he absolutely crushed those. I mean, it looks exactly what you see at those traveling fairs, or state fairs in general. So what I did was I took one of these, I stripped it down to just the base, you know, the white base here, and I'm going to start using this as a template for more types of food stalls, which the first one I did was just sort of your generic stall here. It's got, you know, a little bit of everything. I still need to change out the frying pits there, or whatever the hell you call them, the deep fryers. And I'll put in other stuff too. Like I think I'm gonna steal where is it? I think I've actually got it, yeah. So this is a little cotton candy stall that Masked Bandit made for No Name Landia, and I think I'm gonna take this little piece here and swap it out for the deep fryer. But yeah, I've got you know, quite a few ideas for different brands I want to do. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment below. I'd love to get your ideas for more of these, because I'm going to need, you know, quite a few, honestly. I kind of want to litter every place I can in this fair with these types of things, and then the games as well. So if you've got any ideas for other stuff, leave a comment below. I'm going to keep building some more, and then you know, after you've seen some of those, please let me know what other options you'd like to see, and I can go from there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make some more of these. I'm enjoying it now. I might also work on some of the midway games. I will at some point in this episode, I think. But yeah, really liking how these are coming together, and it's starting to feel more like a fair over here. Okay, made a burger stall here. Well, more than a burger stall. It's just kind of a generic all foods stall here. Kept the deep fryer, but also added a flat top grill with some looks like hockey pucks, but they're supposed to be burgers. And then stole, I can't remember. I had this blueprint saved. I honestly can't remember who I stole this from, but it's supposed to be like a slushy thing and then a soda fountain and some cups. I think, I want to say maybe it was Ryan's work in No Name Landia, but I honestly can't remember. So if you're the person that made these, I apologize, but they're really, really well done. And yeah, just wanted to, again, create some more realism on the interior of these things. You know, like I said, with the buildings on the main street, I'm not going to do a bunch of interiors just because the piece count would get out of control. But you know, for something like this, it's not that big of a deal, and really does help sell the realism, I think. Also using some of the smoke special effects to, you know, make it look like there's an actual working vent hood here that's, you know, getting rid of the smoke from inside and pushing it outside. So yeah, worked on that one. I also want to have some smaller ones, so I ended up working on a TFB stand. So yeah, this is pretty similar to what you see in a lot of theme parks, amusement parks, honestly. It's pretty much a carbon copy of what you'll see there. The only thing I think I might change is I might need to make it a little bit like deeper this way or a little bit wider. But yeah, overall same thing. Yeah, really happy with how it turned out. Put a little like AC unit on the back here, and then an entrance for the staff worker. So yeah, I'll probably put this in a couple places, and I'll probably upload this onto the workshop as well. Although there are, I'm pretty sure there are other examples of this already on the workshop, but I might toss it on mine if you want to download it and add it to your park, because this is not something unique to fairs. These are in most amusement theme parks, at least in the United States. So also, another big thank you to JLAC, because he has a little slide on his workshop, and I'm not sure if I have it anymore in my blueprints here. Yeah, so he's got a little fun slide on his workshop as well. So I took the work he did here on the slide, and I changed the angle slightly. His is probably actually more realistic now that I'm looking at it, but too late now. Hashtag good enough. But so anyway, I took the slide pieces out and I basically doubled them to make it, you know, one of those super slides you see at the fairs. And yeah, I'll have to add support structure to this, and then, you know, I'll do a sign and stuff up here and make sure it's well lit and everything. Unfortunately, they obviously aren't going to use this, but I think it will, again, help sell the vibe of a carnival or a fair. Not the final location for this slide, but it is pretty much finished. So added, again, the custom letters, which I think make a huge difference on this thing. You know, and then lights all the way down it. I think it looks pretty good at night, which might actually be... Yeah, so I think maybe I need to tone down the lights up here a little bit. It's getting a little bit too much glare off of the slide, but overall, really, really happy with how that's turned out. And then, yeah, now might be a good time to show the lights on there too at night. So the interior lighting underneath here is actually something I'm really proud of. I think it looks like, you know, neon lighting that you would see in one of these traveling coasters. And then worked on lighting up the coaster track itself, just the same, pretty much the same way Kinderly did for this coaster over here. Go back to daytime, and did end up finishing the base of his coaster, and again trying to make it look like that material it's pretty much like a tarp, but just hangs down. And I don't think this one is as believable as the other coaster, but I do like the way it looks for now. So then continued working on more food stalls, so working on a pizza one here, Again, I think I'm trying to think of, I've got 2 more, I think, that I already know what I'm going to make, but again, would love suggestions from you guys on additional brands and food items. And then made some ticket booths that will go in the entrance of the fairground. I'm planning on surrounding this whole area with like a makeshift chain link fence, similar to I go over here, similar to what I did for the little craft fair. Yeah, so these chain link fences, I'm planning on putting an entire perimeter around this carnival, but it'll just depend on, I'm not going to do that until I fully know where everything's going to go, but there will be some entranceway into the fair where those ticket booths will be located. And then need to again thank JLAC, because he made a even smaller little burger stall, or fry stall, I guess. And yeah, just amazing work. And it's nice because I'm going to be able to have some variety in the types of stalls. So I made a Mind Gluten pretzel cart using the base that he made here. But yeah, like I said, it's just nice to be able to have some variety in size, so that when I finally lay everything out and put all these food stalls in, it's not going to look like I just copied and pasted everything everywhere. Starting to piece some things together now, and I'm really thinking it was the right decision to go with the asphalt terrain paint, just because, you know, there's a path going through here and it blends so seamlessly into the terrain paint. You know, it would have been cool, I think, if I could have accomplished the field look, but this is just going to make my life so much easier. And yeah, started to repurpose some of the midway games. These little poop emoji prizes, I believe, are from Fisherman, which I will include a link to those in the description below, as well as these snakes. I think he actually has just a whole pack of things, of carnival prizes that you can add to any of your games in your parks. But wanted to have some variety instead of just the koala bears that I made in No Name Landia. Same thing with the ski ball, and both of these skins were inspired by just photos I was able to find of like state fairs or traveling fun fairs. And one thing I did notice about quite a few of them is that they were almost attached or kind of designed to pop out of like trailers like this. So again, just trying to sell some more of the realism, I wanted to make it look like, you know, this thing could easily be folded up and kind of put inside of this trailer here and then taken to the next location pretty easily. So yeah, digging how these are coming out here. And then also was able to finish up the station for Kinderly's coaster, and really happy with how it turned out. Especially, you know, there's this curb here, which is a little bit annoying, but there's really no other way for me to get rid of that and still keep the 2-meter path method here, where it doesn't clip through out from under the station, which I'd rather have it clip here than on the front piece. But yeah, this was a bit of a pain to do, but totally worth it. There's lots of resources on that method if you're looking for it or aren't familiar with it, but there's actually, I'll link it down below. There's a tutorial from Mike Sheets on some of the more advanced features of using the path tool, and he does talk about it pretty extensively in that video, so I'll make sure to include a link to that below. And then these awesome little barriers are on the TMTK workshop. They are exactly what I needed for this carnival look, because obviously none of this stuff is going to be permanent. I just wish we had the ability to turn these stupid things off, because it really does distract from everything. And I tried to hide it with a trash can, but even that doesn't look great. So I'll keep rethinking how I might hide that, but overall, yeah, I think this thing looks great. It really captures the vibe, I think, of a carnival or a fair. And I ended up going ahead and making these all the same color, and I think that was the right decision. So I'll also be putting some chain link fence around this whole thing, and then on this side I'll probably be doing more rides and shops over here. So one thing I'm reconsidering is using the glass on these things because I want them to be functional, and they actually could be by utilizing these vending machines here. So I could like have this here where people would walk up and order. And I'll see if I can actually get it to attach to the path. So I could have these here. And oh, is it not going to cooperate? There we go. Here, we'll move the... Okay. So if I hide this, now I think peeps will actually come up and use it. I'm not entirely sure, but they should. And there's two options that I can use. So one is to, instead of having the glass here, I can replace it with some art shapes or something, or put in another window. So yeah, so now it looks like they're actually using the chief beef here. The other thing you can do is you could theoretically hide this thing underground. So if they'll come back and use it, here we go. So the problem with this is that they go all the way down there to buy their food. So that's my dilemma. Do I do this option, or do I have it at the same level as the path and block out the glass so that it, they walk up to a normal level? So let me know your thoughts. I really want everyone's opinion on that, because this looks great having the glass open, and especially at nighttime, because I tried to make it like really bright neon on the inside. If the game doesn't crash on me, please don't crash. Okay. Yeah, so you can see they're really lit up nicely on the inside at nighttime. And obviously if I have these at that level, I have to put something across. It just doesn't look good. Or have them like that and have the people go down below the actual level of the ground. So anyway, let me know what you think is best. I genuinely want people's opinions on what route to go there. Okay, one last gigantic annoying midway game has been converted into a traveling one. So I was looking at some of the reference photos, and some of these are pretty dang tall, and they have like a huge wall of prizes, obviously designed to sort of draw you in and get you to play the game. So yeah, that's what I wanted to go for here. Again, these little alien dudes are from Fisherman's prize set, which I will link below. But yeah, in general with these, as I'm repurposing them, I'm just going for big bright colors and just the appearance of, these flat pieces that are sort of decorative that would in reality fold down or get folded up when they would move to a new location. So yeah, pretty happy with how all this is coming out. Again, none of this stuff in terms of all of this is final location. I'm still piecing it all together. Started to get some work done on kind of laying out the city grid as well. So I think I mentioned I want to make these look like they're parking lots or something. So that's what I'm going to do here. This would be a road that gets shut down for the carnival or the fair. And I'll probably have it come out to here as well, or maybe just be like a T-junction out to there. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that is probably the gist of it for this episode. I know it might not seem like I got a lot done, but these little shops and repurposing the midway games took a ton of time. A lot more than I was anticipating. So I still need to repurpose this and these three here, and then I'll probably make a few additional games just so there's some variety. I want to make one of those. It's like a balloon wall where you throw darts and you got to try to hit like 3 of the same color and then you win a prize. So I'll be adding one of those. Fortunately, there's a pretty nice looking balloon set on the TMTK workshop. So yeah, this, oops. So this one has no string attached to it. So you could easily, you know, put it on a wall and have a ton of them. So that's going to be something that I'll continue to work on as well. In the next episode, my hope is to finish the rest of this main street. I might try to work on this side of the street now. I wasn't anticipating having a street here, but the way that I'm headed, it's going to kind of be necessary. And then I've got a plan for this area over here. And then intermittently, I'll probably still continue to work on the carnival itself, just because I'm really liking how it's shaping up, especially at nighttime. I think it looks really, really good at nighttime. You know, I've got the bright lights coming out from the games. I tried to subtly light the shops, with the exception of the flashing lights attached to them. So yeah, I'm really enjoying how all this is turning out. I think it totally looks like a fun fair right now. So anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I'm going to try to get one more episode out before Planet Zoo's release. And then after that, I'll probably be taking a bit of a break from this project to work on my zoo project. So anyway, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.